would sit next to the customer because across is a little bit more formal. So normally I'd sit here, but this is because I'm doing this now. Okay, cool. All right. Can you hear me if I just talk normally? Is that fine? All right, great.
Just have it right there, though.
Yeah, all right, cool. All right, great. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, what a lot of my customers do is they like to customize their own set. So, I can still obviously get you a really, really good deal, so no big deal. All right, so take a look here. Now, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pick out stuff that you really liked, and my objective here is like if Cutco were free, like falling from the sky, what would you pick up? And this doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna buy it today, but anything that you'd like kind of sort of even liked, right? So off the top of your head, which pieces did you like the most just off the top of your head as I was going through the demo?
The slicer.
Yeah, carve it up. Nice. I like it. All right,
I like
what else?
the trimmer.
Trimmer, yeah. You'll use that every day. It's a good one. All right. What other ones? What
The
else?
spatula spreader.
You like the spatula? Cool.
The carving set.
You like the carving set? Nice. You're gonna get those nice slices of turkey. And then just say nothing else.
Nothing
Anything
else.
else? No? Okay, great. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, that's a really good start. Those are some good basics. So let's go ahead and go through some of these. So again, this is not even stuff you're necessarily like going to buy today. This is anything you kind of sort of liked, because the more that you pick out, the better deal I can give you. Worst case scenario is you don't get the deal, right? So let's go ahead and go through these. All right, so first and foremost, this is our paring knife. Now, as you know, you mentioned you guys have kids. I know, Mrs. Jones, you do so much paring in the kitchen because your kids probably don't like the skin on apples. I know I didn't. So you definitely need like a staple of like a paring knife in the kitchen. So how often would you say you pare?
Probably every day.
Yeah, every day. Okay, cool. So, obviously getting one is going to be a necessity for sure. I would even recommend getting at least two based on how much paring you do. So when it's in the dishwasher, like you're not going to go back to a bad paring knife to do it. So let's go and put just the typical normal paring knife on there. And then we also have the 4-inch paring knife too. So that's it, so you can pare and then slice as well, because that one's a little smaller for strawberries and things like that. So could you see yourself like in the next like 5-10 years needing 2 paring knives?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, awesome. So then of course you have the trimmer. And here's the deal. The trimmer you're going to use all the time. We actually have something called a Santoku trimmer. It's right here. And most people, what they find, especially with the double D edge, they actually need both in the kitchen. Just again, when it's in the dishwasher, like you totally need another utility knife, just because you're not going to use a big slicer to like slice up tomatoes or do any of the normal basic things. So with the trimmer, in the next like 5 years, would you see yourself needing more than one trimmer? I know I do at my house. So.
So like there's a difference just between the Santoku and the regular one?
Yeah, I mean like they do similar things, but a lot of times I like the Santoku style because it's a little thicker. I like especially you have bigger hands, you'll like the grip of that a little bit more. And plus the tip goes this way, so you can get like pits out of things like avocados. So I would recommend, if you're kind of thinking about it, I would recommend getting at least 2. Like it's not a question if you'll use them. So I'll just go ahead and toss that on there for sure. Okay, cool. So then you like the spatula, that's going to be awesome. And then, so what you also have is the big carver. Now the long carver, like this is going to be awesome because I know you guys barbecue. It's going to be great for barbecuing. Now you're also going to have times where you have a little smaller roasts. I mean, I'm sure you're not cooking turkeys every day, right, Miss Jones? That'd be kind of nice, but you'd like that though, right? Yeah, not too bad. So this will be a little too long for that. Do you guys ever do like rotisserie chickens or a little bit like smaller roasts when you're cooking for less people? Yeah, and then here's another thing. I mean, the slicer's not going to do what a petite carver would because the tip is like sharp up top for specifically like tougher, larger fruits and veggies. So I know you guys had like that pineapple on the counter. Do you guys ever do pineapples or cantaloupes or anything like that?
Especially in the summer.
Yeah, especially in the summer. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like when you have it, you'll use it. It's a really nice, bigger utility knife. So, all right, well, I'll just throw that on there too. Okay, so then the forks. So I know you have a carving fork. That's great to hold food down, but then picking stuff up, it's like, I get it, the fork, it's like very foreign, but it's one of the most underrated pieces Cutco has. It's got 3 really sharp tips, and then what I use it for is turning chicken on the frying pan. You guys ever do chicken breasts? Yeah. Do you guys ever like have to get like pickles or olives or cherries out of jars? How do you normally get them out?
Just a regular fork.
Right, just like a regular fork. And here's the thing, like this is beveled, so you flip it off, like slides off. So, and plus you can wake the kids up with it too. Y'all have 3 kids, like you totally are gonna need that for sure. In the next like 5 years, would you see yourself like wanting a turning fork? Yeah? Cool. All right. You can say no to some stuff too if you want. It's fine. All right. So this is your butcher knife. So also what's lacking is a knife to protect your other tools. So what happens sometimes is that you may be using the wrong tools for the wrong job, and that's never a good thing. Like you have tools in the garage, right, Mr. Jones? Yeah. So you wouldn't use like the same screwdriver for everything. Definitely not. So same exact way. You may try to use, because Cutco is great, so you may try to use Cutco for a bunch of different things. There's going to be things like frozen foods, like squash. Like, do you guys ever do racks of ribs, by the way? Sometimes, yeah. And, like, trust me, it might not be something you use every day, but it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So I would recommend picking out a bigger knife. So it's either going to be like the butcher knife, right, which is a straight edge, more this motion, or a Hardy slicer. It's got the double the edge on it. It's pretty great. So that would be like more sawing back and forth. It's like really, really hefty. So if you had to pick one of these two, which one would you choose?
What's the price difference between those two?
The price difference? It's honestly not that different. So yeah, it wouldn't make a big difference. It's just important to have like that bigger tool. Plus, like since you're picking out so much, you're gonna get such a big discount anyway that it's like not a big deal. So would you rather something with like the double D edge or like a straight edge?
Probably the double D edge.
Yeah. I mean, y'all love the trimmer. It's like Hardy Slicer, it's a trimmer on steroids. You'll really like it. It's like my mom's favorite knife, too. So, you guys also need a veggie chopper for sure. So, how often are you guys doing like veggies in the kitchen, like salads, soups, stews?
I sometimes have salad.
Sometimes. Yeah, that's cool. You ever prep salads for the fam?
Yeah, sometimes.
Cool. All right. So, here's the deal. And I know in my house, like I don't have kids, but we do veggies like I don't know, 3-4 times a week. And what happens is that when we use the chopping knife, we put it in the dishwasher. So we're trying to do more veggies. It's in the dishwasher. What do? So I personally love having 2 in the kitchen just because with the family, I know you're trying to get your kids nutrition and all that stuff. So the French Chef, this is a really good one for just rocking back and forth. Now we also have Santoku style knives too. So again, the tip's going this way. So you can do more like strips of peppers, strips of onions, things like that. We also have like the mini one too. So like, I know you'd probably like the bigger one. The mini one, that's like that's my favorite. It's an easy grab and use for just everyday chopping. So, so which style do you like the most?
It's up to you.
The smaller one.
The 5-inch petite?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Do you think in the next 5 years you'd need to?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. So do you like this style?
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, cool. So then the slicer, you guys already have that. Again, the slicer is really long. You picked the long one. We also have a smaller one. Do you guys ever do rolls in like the toaster oven?
We actually don't have a toaster.
Yes, you do. See it. I wouldn't say it if you didn't have a toaster oven. Oh, yeah. So do you guys ever do rolls out of the oven, let's say? Yeah, okay, great. And then, I remember my mom used to do rolls. She used to put it in the bread basket. We'd have to cut it at the table, and then they would become breadsticks because it would smash. But using the really long one, I was scared I would, like, stab my brother across the table. So this is great for, obviously, your cakes and also, like, your bigger loaves. But when you have, like, just your smaller, run-of-the-mill, chill family dinner, do you think it'd be nice to have a smaller one? You can say no sometimes, too. Typical customer, remember.
Yeah, I feel like one would just be
One?
fine.
All right, no problem. So then you have your carving set. You picked out your Hardy slicer. We got some bigger knives too, you guys. So, this is our veggie knife. Now, you guys mentioned you did stews and soups.
Mostly salad.
Mostly salads, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you chop a bunch of veggies, put it in. Okay. Well, here's why I like the veggie knife. It's thicker, so you can actually chop into really small pieces because it's a hefty knife, and you can transfer your ingredients from the counter into your mixing bowl. So that's why it's a really good one, especially when you're entertaining. I know you're close with your neighbors, so when you're entertaining, having like a bigger knife to do that is going to be nice, just because you have a small one for right now. So I would recommend getting a bigger veggie knife for that reason, just because the 5-inch isn't going to cover as much ground. So what do you think about the veggie knife?
Stick with the 5-inch.
Yeah, that's all right. Cool. So then you have the cleaver. It's a pound of steel. This is good for tenderizing meats. Not something you'll use every day, of course, but it's also something that's going to protect all your other stuff. And if you do barbecue, it's going to crack right through those bones too. What do you guys think of the cleaver?
I mean, it's something like you obviously wouldn't use all the time.
Right.
It would be something convenient to have.
It would be. Like, if you're going to have nice knives, you might as well get a Cutco. Because it's like, if you have it in your drawer, you're going to find a way, right? So, what do you think about that?
I think we're gonna hold off.
Okay, yeah, no problem. So then we have the salmon knife. This is great for filleting not just fish, but also other raw, really tender meats. So you can salvage a lot of that meat. It's really thin, it's really flexible. Do you guys ever do raw meats? Yeah, like get fat off of meats? Okay, cool. Yeah, so here's what I'd recommend. I would get a raw meat knife because your trimmer is great for like your cooked meats and also your smaller stuff. You need a straight, flexible edge though to salvage a lot of that meat. Like sometimes when you're cutting meat, have you ever noticed you're like, ooh, I chopped off a lot, and then all of a sudden, all this chicken you bought is just not enough for the family because you're like, get the fat off, the nasty fat off. So that's why I'd recommend these two. Would you want a longer one or a smaller one with this boning knife here? It's great for raw meats.
Probably smaller.
Yeah, definitely. This is my mom's favorite. When she used to use the trimmer, but then she realized, she's like, oh my God, the boning knife, this straight edge, I will never go back. This is amazing. So you guys will really like that one. All right, the cheese knife. So this is not just for cheese. Do you guys do cheese at all?
Not really. I mean, sometimes a lot of people.
Right. Just like occasionally.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'd probably use it like, I don't know, 3 times a year, 4 times a year. Have people over once every season, I suppose. Yeah. Well, so this will be great for entertaining because like blocks of cheese, they're really starchy and it's really tough to get through. Do you guys ever do like potatoes? Mashed potatoes. You gotta give me that recipe, dude. Mashed potatoes, lit. Okay, so anyway, the holes mean it doesn't stick to anything. So anything that sticks, like cucumbers tend to stick when you cut it, for example. Potatoes are really starchy. What? Yeah. They just get right through the potatoes. So this is a great utility knife. So would you like a small one or a big cheese knife?
I feel like it's something like maybe like we were talking about the cleave and all that, something you can pull off in the future.
Okay. Yeah. All right. No big deal. Then this shears. You guys like the shears, right?
That's pretty cool. You got that.
I know. Well, my parents, they tend to fight about like if it's in the kitchen or the garage. Would you want like 1 or 2? Just one. Okay. Cool. I'll call you back in a year. I'm just kidding. All right. So then the steak or table knives. Which ones would you rather have, the steak or the table knives?
I think the table knives would do the job.
Yeah. Okay. In a perfect world, how many table knives would you want? Like I'm talking like Cutco is free, so just feel free to be like, I would need this many, right? Think of people you entertain, have over. Think of how many times it's in the dishwasher. How many would you want?
Probably like
8? Okay. What if I told you if you got 12, you'd actually like get a way better deal?
You work that out.
I could work it out. Okay. And plus, it'd be nice to have a full place setting too. That's always a good thing. So, okay, awesome. And then of course you may want storage for this too. So with the block, would you prefer having a cherry stain or a, just in a perfect world, cherry stain or like a lighter stain?
Probably lighter.
Yeah, lighter. That would look good with your kitchen for sure. And of course, I know you like the classic. That'll look really good. They'll match. So, all right, cool. Now let's take a look back here. So we also have flatware. So this is again like if Cutco were free, so I could just quote you a great deal and just see if it works out. The flatware is 1810 stainless steel. If you put it in the garbage disposal, it dings around, you can send it in and get a brand new spoon instead of having to buy a whole new place setting. And it's really nice too. Like this also comes in like a nice little, what's it called? Box, yeah, chest, right? Now it's a really good deal. Like this, you're saving a ton of money on. So you guys have flatware, right? Yeah. Okay. So here's what a lot of my customers do. They feel like after years being married, they deserve a new flatware chest because it's kind of nice. Like having like nice flatware, you feel like you use it every day too. You could always give your old flatware to your kids. That's what most of my customers do, because that way you guys could start using the good flatware. So in a perfect world, do you think you'd want the flatware in like the next 10 years?
Yeah, probably something for the future.
Yeah. It's like one of those things you don't like feel like you need until you like have it. Then you're like, we needed this, you know? All right, so then we have cookware. So cookware, of course, forever guaranteed. It cuts cooking time in half. So, you know, another thing, you guys do veggies. Have you ever noticed when you're steaming broccoli, you pour the water out and it's kind of green? Yeah. So it's actually like all the nutrients coming out, like mushy broccoli, nasty, right? Or sometimes like chicken breast just doesn't cook all the way through. The worst. Okay. So this is the type of cookware. It's a 5-ply. It's the best heat conductor out there. So y'all just will have to cook on low to medium because it's really good heat conduction. So I know you guys like don't love cooking. You kind of just like you just cook whenever you can. This will cut your cooking time in the kitchen, so you'll enjoy it more. So having good cookware, you'll notice a difference in your food. Again, it's one of those things you're like, we have cookware, but then when you have it, you're like, this was a great decision. So hypothetically, if Cutco were free, would you prefer having like the big cookware set, the medium, or like the small one?
I think we should just start with the small one.
Small? Okay, cool. All right, awesome. Now, I'm going to talk to you guys about gift sets just in a bit, but just so you guys know, we're having a special on gift sets. It is Christmas in July. So we're doing like a buy 3, get 1 free. And if you pick out even more, I'll be able to hook it up. So, we'll talk about that a little more. Just so you know, we have steak knives and table knives as an option for gift sets. But first, working on your forever kitchen, of course, looking at these gadgets just off the page, which ones are you like, wow, we need a new this, right? Ice cream scoop, yeah. By the way, you can put this in the dishwasher on like Pampered Chef.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it melts, which is nice. So, okay, what else?
The pizza cutter.
Pizza, nice. I love pizza. The blade actually pops out for easy cleaning, by the way.
Super.
Yeah. So these other ones, by the way, do you guys ever drink wine?
No,
Beer?
not me. Personally.
You don't drink it all? It's all right. Might be a good gift. Good for you guys. I should be in that boat too. Okay. Well, maybe you can buy it for me. I don't know. No. All right. So the can opener, by the way, this is So do you guys like your can opener? Like, is it okay? Like,
Does the job.
it does the
It's
job.
alright.
Well, wouldn't it be cool to like have a can opener where you're just like, oh, that was all right. Like, like when you're turning the can and. All right, cool. And it kind of gets stuck. This is very smooth, so you won't have to worry about it because you'll open cans the rest of your life. So bottom line, having a forever one's going to be really crucial. So what do you think about the can opener?
I understand.
Yeah. All right,
not.
cool. Awesome. Yeah, and the peeler, by the way, you guys peel stuff?
Usually I use a paring knife.
You use paring knife? What about like carrots or cucumbers?
That's for the salads.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, you saw the peeler, right? Thing's awesome. All right, I'll just put that on there. All right, who do you have to buy gifts for this year, by the way?
I know we have a wedding coming up.
You have a wedding?
November.
Okay, cool. So we'll pick out a set for that. Just because it's really nice to not have to worry about gifts. Cutco does not get bad sitting in the closet. And like, what do you typically spend on a gift for like your family, siblings? Like 50, 100 bucks. All right, we can find something around there where I'm gonna discount it, where it's actually gonna be less. Then you're gonna have the gifts like paid off on a 5K by the time that Christmas rolls around. That way you just have to grab them. You don't have to like fight people at the mall or whatever, which is nice. So how many people in a perfect world do you have to buy gifts for in the next like 2-3 years? Yeah, I mean, how about this year times 3? I know you said you had a sister, so sister, okay. You have a brother,
Yeah.
okay. You have a mom. I don't know if do you have a mom?
No.
No, it's all right. It's fine. Right. She would love Cutco, but that's all right. All right, no, I'm just kidding. Okay, cool. And then siblings, any other siblings, friends? I know the wedding. Are you gonna have, how many weddings are you gonna have coming up in the next couple of years?
As I know, as far we just have the one in November, but there are some
Okay.
people we know
Yeah.
that are pretty serious.
So if we do, if we do 8, you can get 3 for free. So you'd be able to like actually get like 11 gift sets. So you'd find someone to gift them to, I assume. Okay. All right. I'll just toss that on there. What gift set do you like, by the way? Okay, great. That's a good pick. Sorry, we're running out of time. All right. Anyway, so then, do you guys garden at all?
Not
Yeah. You just have to snip stuff here and there.
Yeah.
Then I highly recommend the pruners. If you hate gardening, you need the pruners. This thing is going to just chop stuff in the quickest way where you don't have to spend any more time in there because I hate it too. So in the next 10 years, would you like use the pruners?
Or could we just use the shears?
The shears, no, it doesn't do the same exact thing. This is like specifically designed for branches and things outside. Yeah. So, all right, I'll just toss the pruners on if you're not sure. Again, the more you get, the better deal I can give you for sure. So, all right, great. So I think we're running out of time.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
So Yeah, cool. That's
All right,
that.
thank you.